Yeah.
You know, I do want to do my time covering LATAM and Brazil during stage one. It was basically every team loved to play Monty. Then halfway through the season, or the stage, we saw that swap as Valkyrie is going to be our final ban here. I mean, what do you think about the
in this position? But now they can't get rid of him, so DarkZero is going to have to try to push him out in another way. The Deimos call will come out, but he's standing on top of a mute jammer, so there's no way for DarkZero to even get information on KZ in this position. And that pick on Canadian was so pivotal for KZ staying alive here.
Looking at what DZ have left to work with, realistically, they have the best bet's going to be that Ying, an aggressive run out. KZ should be able to get this one. Shoulder baits it, and we'll hear that rotation towards him. Cover is good from behind him, and JV92 will get that. Nafe falls. Advantage 4 versus 3 for Furia. Bolo creeping in the break room, looks to try and grab one, can't do it, not quick enough in the draw. KZ gets that, and Furia in a great advantage. Deathmark goes out, will arrive at its destination. It will. That's going to be Nade hunted down by that, but it's going to be jammed yet again. The proficient use of those mute jammers have made this difficult as NJR will grab one, and that might be a lifeline now as they have access in Archive.
Good position, but Felipox is going to shut him down. Another Deimos all alone in a 1v3. That was beautiful textbook trading from Furia, just to be able to get KZ in comfortable positions to where he doesn't have to worry about anybody around him. NJR.
Process now is about this. A second counter tossed out as the Solus down below. Spot Stack trying to begin to work around what to do here. 3 bodies on Furia all stacked up. Herd swings out. Panzerbu is going to fall to that one. And round early again, advantage for Furia. No trade from DarkZero in this, and they're stuck all on this balcony trying to push out towards the east side, and nothing's working for them so far.
Nothing is working at all. DarkZero is sitting here just waiting for the utility to do the work for them. KZ's going to make the massive gap even bigger, and they're just going to wait. Now Canadian's going to have to try to make something happen and bring it back, and he's going to get one onto the east stairs with the bailiff nonetheless.
A Brava is somewhere in that vicinity, and they can begin to redirect their focus onto that. 50 seconds left in this round, and Furia completely in control. All the pressure on DarkZero to win their gunfights, and they can't. Herd's lurking in break room, gets that one on the Nafe. There is a trade there. Canadian gets that job done, but with only 35 seconds, a difficult task. NGR gets one. Yet again in Archive, and Nade does fall away. Sights down below, of course, so still lots of work for DZ.
Time is against them here, and they've done a good job of being able to rat away a couple of kills and trade it up, but now Furia has time on their side. NJR, JV92 with a 1v1 up top. Canadian and KZ with the 1v1 in sight. DarkZero's going to have to make the first move. JV92 drops down to play on the 2v1. Canadian's shots go down, but he's going to go down too. NJR with no HP in a dream, and the shotgun through the wall to make the lead 2-0.
There's a linchpin to get a little bit more control as he might dive through that wooden barricade straight out in the blue.
Nade is playing this beautifully. He's just stalling time. He knows that he doesn't need to move, but Canadian's going to come through with the blitz, and he's going to get shot into the side, but the trade! Bolo's behind him. Will he be able to recover his teammate and pick up the man advantage? Nade is still tucked up. He doesn't need to move, but he's communicating to the rest of his team. It's only a matter of time before DarkZero surrounds me. I'm going to need some help, and the rest of Furia is in motion.
Nade C4 ready to send over the top for that one, just waiting on that call. He's going to be a little bit more uncomfortable here. He's going to get caught through the wall as well. Great read from Bolo, second in the round. Lion Scout in the distance happens as well, and Furia falling now as DarkZero cascade in the sight. 50 seconds, and Nafe gets one more. Philipox falls. 5 versus 1. All down the KZ, and this should be a guaranteed round now for DarkZero. Everything's in their favor. You got a blitz shoot to deal with as well, and the player has to drop this hatch straight into the waiting arms of DarkZero. It's going to be their very first round here on Border, guaranteed.
That was a beautiful round from DarkZero, and we said once they set up, once they have that time to get to talking, to get to figuring out how they're going to execute on the site, that's when DarkZero is strongest. Furia was playing a good job, Nade specifically, on stalling his amount of time, but the trades were there on DarkZero's side, and once they had the positions, they knew they just had to funnel that blitz. Picking up the blitz was such a read to be able to get him, to be able to commence into the site, and then not even aggressing Nade. They knew he was going to be posted up. It was really, start to finish, a well-played round. A lot of the DarkZero members are tucking up by Archives, almost as if they want to look for a rush. And the first pick is Herd's going to take Nave down, and that's not what you want to see. But it does look like DZ wants to start for a rush. Good read from KZ to take NJR down, and that's the glass through the barricade. He gets out scot-free, and he's just going to disrespect a little more. We're going to see Pamba bottom metal. No way for DarkZero to really get inside. Furia, exactly what we said. They wanted to fight them head on, and they found 2 picks before they execute, before they were even at the building.
The biggest thing as well for DarkZero is that they had a lot of key utility like that glass now not longer available. I don't think this round's going to last too much longer, as JV92 will find as Bolo will take some damage as well, and Furia don't really care about that Lion Scouts. They look to get aggressive for it. A run out, an aggressive one, finds some damage on towards Canadian. Philippox gets Bolo shut down, and well, it's just a matter of time. It will be a consolation prize to find Philippox in this moment, but it's going to be all but over. Maybe Canadian, surely not. 3 more to find. 60 seconds, no. KZ shuts it down. Canadian falls in that one. Furia get round number 4.
And even in the end, if you watch any type of information, and DarkZero is relying a lot on it to give them some type of guidance on how they want to approach this site, and they're using as much time as possible to figure out where everybody on Furia is. Herds is going to take down Bolo, KZ's going to take down Pamba, and it's just going to keep hemorrhaging. Herds is going to get another one, and they haven't been able to take down any way into this building.
It is a fortress so far. Furia have posted up and said no entry for DarkZero in this moment. NGR finds one. It's going to be Nade, but a consolation prize realistically. The run out, he'll get one more. I think Troll Time cancelled as Philippox does get caught from that. But I mean, you put it perfectly going in. It's the Furia have just basically said no entry for DarkZero. They cannot get into the building at all, no matter what variation of a style they want to do. And when they try to get in the building, Furia mechanically are just so good that when it comes to those gunfights that are realistically a must-win for DarkZero, they just can't get across that line so far. With 40 seconds left in this round, I don't want to imagine it's going to be another impromptu timeout for DZ. And JR, 30 seconds, finding 3. An ace clutch could be on the menu.
He knows.
One player upstairs. He knows. He crosses in, still has to be very careful on these corners. He walks in the site. This would be a masterclass if he can get this job done. Every corner could be another threat lurking, waiting for another member of Furia. Reads into it, but it won't last too much longer. KZ gets it done. But these of Pamba on that demo so that every single defender has been marked so they can death mark it. So the 2 drones that he had sacrificed at that point in the prep phase, worth it at least for that one operator being enabled in this so far. But they haven't made the most use of those death marks. We'll see one go out now, deployed on JV92. But this is just going to be an invitation for him to get aggressive, knowing he can take these fights. He knows his position is compromised, and he has the mechanics to back it up, and he'll be able to get the DB&O on 1. Canadian saves his teammate there, and well, look at this, Bolo charges in. NJR gets into the action as well. This could be an opening, as just like that, DZ finding 3 all down the Bolo, and like that, the round is going to go in their favor. Much more. Again, so difficult to deal with that player on an individual basis. And DZ begin to fall back a little bit. See all these blue silhouettes lurking all the way by office. Oh, JV92. No. Oh, Canadian, oh no. Down below, if you have an opportunity for that rotate and deny those plants on a lot of this primary site. So now Furia will again look for that isolation, but that's going to be Nathan winning a must-win encounter with Herds all the way down that main hallway. So 3 versus 3, just over a minute to work with between both these sides. Information rings out, those red pings are there. Great swing from the mute. That's fantastic from NJR. And that's the lifeline that DZ need. Now Furia are on the back foot with a minute to go. DZ don't need to overextend this one. They can somewhat wait as Furia need to make the play in towards their lines of sight.
I mean, NJR's in the hard spot. You can't get rid of him. He's very successfully tucked back there, but not if you give away the pick on the crossfire. And now they know that the player is stuck back archives. They're just going to try to isolate him. Will Bolo be able to cover his teammate? NJR, the shots don't go down for him. Now Bolo's in a 2v1. He knows where JV92 is, but does he know where the other? Both low HP players. Furia taking their time, trying to creep up, and Nate is going to get the pick on a Bolo.
That's where you need your most level of coordination to get that initial breakthrough point, but Canadian finds that breakthrough, can't make it to as JV92 shuts him down, but DZ's quick on that trade. Pamba gets that one done, and a much better start to this round for DarkZero. 4-3 in terms of player count, but neutralized very quickly as Philippox swings that wide. He's going to be able to find himself a second in this round. One more player in bathroom, reveals their position. Skeleton key up close and personal could solve this issue. A difficult fight for them. It's going to be a great one. Pamba swings that wide, but traded off very quickly. And upstairs now, 1 versus 1. All down the nade versus Bolo. A minute to work with, so much time. Information might work for DZ as he had that red ping, but he's very quickly relocated away. Deep inside his sight, can play those long angles. Not DMR can be nasty, but a bearing 9. Up close and personal. Can be a difficult one, but Bolo wins that every day of the week. You're close to work with. Now, Lion and Nomad, not the biggest losses for this side, considering that they can make that execution work with gunplay alone. The Capital still has both those fire darts in the back pocket, so they can clear that space. But you're met by resistance with his castle barriers, choking out time, and that Gone 6 is just going to be a dinner bell now as Trainer wants to swing this out wide. He finds a second one in this round. Herds gets one trade on towards Pamba, but DarkZero in complete control, it feels, in this round.
They don't want to give up top floor on CC until they absolutely have to. As long as Bolo is tucked in this E-box position, C4 is going to come out, but it's not going to connect. He's going to lose the one to KZ, and now they've lost CC control. DarkZero's played far back. They're trying to hold as much of top floor as they can with the limited position that they have. 2v3 in favor of DarkZero. They have good position. They're just going to slow it down, wait for Furia to make the mistake. Furia needs to go out of their way, find out where these isolated players are, try to get a pick, try to even the mound count, because if they go for a plant, that's exactly what DarkZero wants them to do.
Nafe has been misdroned here. The clutch drone did not spot him in this corner, so if Furia have no idea he's lurking, this could be a massive problem if they want to gain that control. As you mentioned, DZ want to hold top floor control at all costs, and Nafe doing it in a very stealthy fashion so far. Under a minute to go, dropping the small office happens. Smoke's gonna blind that vision and try and buy Furia a little bit of space. KZ tasked with this so far. Pora, not the best weapon they use in these close quarter fights, and Nafe has that freedom to move verticality to work, but no! KZ, are you kidding me? Finds that moment. This could unravel the round for DZ. They look so good. The case goes down, but Canadian finds a third, and he's going to find one more for good measure. Locked in, and NJR gets that defuse for free. Massive round for DarkZero.
Wow, Canadian has been playing like he's 18 again. The shots from him, he has been DarkZero's saving grace in this match, and you don't look to him to be the guy put on this Armory player who's isolated alone.
This is absolutely brilliant. That death mark goes out. You can play that down below with that vendetta. Wow. But Nafe gets aggressive on sandwich, finding one. He's caught by the bees and that death mark. Herds will fire one, get bullet, but Nafe's going to go huge for two. An aggressive, confident peak gets that job done. Eventually shut down by KZ, who'll make it two, grabbing Canadian in that chaos. DZ find a way to scrap back, but Furia bounce back better on that trade. And a massive play from that. Prox goes up with the distraction quick enough as Pamba capitalizes, and JV92 falls. 60 seconds remain. 2 versus 2. Philippox, KZ versus Pamba and NJR. All the talent in the world in this matchup. Who can come out on top? Behind that ace chassis, one player tuck. Pamba swings out wide for a second one in the round, but KZ makes it 3. Yet again, a 1 versus 1. All the pressure of this matchup on this side. Furia, if they win this, they move on the map point. DZ bring themselves level. If Pablo can just find one more. 35 seconds. So close. And every little bit of desperation arriving for these players. Trying to find something out towards Fountain. Just tapping to that wall, baiting, hoping to get lucky perhaps. But again, look at this from Pamba. Waiting, being patient, knowing Furia need to press the advantage. The case is down as well. He doesn't have it in his hand. It's all the way downstairs, so he has to play for this kill. Restraint, and Pamba finds it! Oh,
for those rad plays, he was unable to find any right there.
But also the fact that he was very quick to retreat away from that somewhat uncharacteristic from Hertz, and Canadian yet again finds the opening. A massive individual performance from the IGL of DarkZero, and the veteran of course. One more pick goes to his name, and one player falls from Furia. You now no longer have your striker, your recruit to work with. That's going to be JV92 off the board. Again, 2 bits of secondary utility can be a massive blow to a team, likely going to be a set of flashbangs to work with. Now Furia on the back foot, trying to creep up through this metal stairs, hard by that barbed wire. That's going to be a freebie. Canadian gets a second. Bolo finds one on the Herds. DZ running away with this round. Furia need an answer. Nade, KZ, the last 2 standing. If you want 2 players to find something, it's going to be these 2.
And Furia is constantly trying to win rounds off of this misdirection, and the barbed wire, the saving grace for DarkZero right there, not to let these little plays affect them. That was what was losing DarkZero rounds earlier in this map. And now they've been able to equalize. Ooh. And that's exactly what KZ is trying to do. He brings it back. One more pick in his favor, but it's so far to be able to win this round. 2v4 for Furia.
4 versus 1 now.
4v1.
It's always the way. The moment you say the player count, someone has to get aggressive and find that pick. It's all down the nade in this moment. Had a massive clutch against ITB in a 1 versus 3. A little bit harder this time around, finding one. 30 seconds, less time to work with, has the case in hand, and has control of sight. DZ are relatively close, they can work with it. They got pressure in workshop as well. 2 bodies rotated from this, but Nade will find a second. Surely not. DZ have a great position, but I think 2 bodies are behind him. And with the limited time to work with, he tries to stick this. 000 is dawning. Nath will try and make as much sound as possible to mask the progress of Bolo, but Bolo tucks in. The Bailiff is going to try and shred this player up close, and nothing you can do. Nath gets the credit, but DZ have themselves. I think he's just comfortable playing that role, playing that operator with that gear, and well, a bandit trick going out with that. Nate just not close up to shut it down as JV92 finds the opening pick on towards Bolo.
Members of Furia.
Pamba's got himself positioned out by radio window as well. Hear that player cross out. He's going to go for an aggressive pick. Pamba finding one. Can't quite make it two. So close to almost winning the round there and then. Nade shuts it down. 3 versus 3. Sub 1 minute 20 to work with. But DZ still in this round. Still looking like they have a chance to get this one done. But JV92 gets one more. Canadian falls. Advantage with Furia.
What a play from JV92 to walk into break. He gets CC control, but we saw Nafe up here last time, and he unfortunately wasn't able to make anything happen. And now he's in the exact same position. They're waiting for Furia to give them some info. Nafe unable to make something happen this round again. He's going to drop down and play for the execute. They want Furia to make the mistake so bad, but they've been so good at isolating these 1v1s. This is exactly what Furia wanted to play for after that timeout.
Nafe is separated though from this main execution with that castle buyer, forced to make that rotation away. C4 not good enough, and that could have been the lifeline that DarkZero needed in this round. 25 remain. Wounded bodies across the board. Nade on a single point or 2 points of HP. 1 bullet enough to slay him. And no one's dropped down yet, but here they arrive. Furia on towards site. NJR knocked in, left in DBNO. 14 seconds and a dream. Can Nafe find something? A miracle here on board to go get this closed out, or is Furia destined for overtime? Yes, they are. KZ gets it done, and we're going initial progression in the building, meaning that it is going to be straight down to who can win this opening gunfight. A very critical moment for this in DarkZero. All that pressure on each side. Bolo's going to be caught DBNO between that door frame, and a difficult one to try and recover. You can't cross that window, but Pamba finds one to Philippox. A massive opening. He can walk up these stairs now. Canadian gets one to Herds, and DZ feels so confident, but Nade steadies the ship, finds Canadian, and gets Furia a little bit of breathing room. That C4 in this round, and I feel like it's going to be foreshadowing that you just mentioned there, Fox. 25 seconds, DarkZero have that player count advantage. We'll dive into archives, trying to see where this approach happens. You feel this pressure arriving, but DarkZero are taking their time to make that final decision on what they want to approach. Bolo stuck with the goo mine those final few seconds, slowing down this progression. And DZ, not a lot of time to work with. They'll wait for that last charge, but they've got to go. JV92 and Nafe trade blows. 3 seconds. That case won't go down. Does DZ get the job done? No, the timer does. Furia take round 13 and move on the match point here on border. Keeping us waiting for what Furia's actually going to want to do here. Pamba, though, will spot the Blitz. I mean, it's going to be a massive factor. Oh my. Pamba's going to get that opening pick. Bye-bye, Blitz, and that's going to be a massive blow towards what W7...
But to put yourself alone there with no trade potential just doesn't seem like the right situation. But we're going to see Philippox be able to trade out and take Dome, but he's going to go down from the crossfire from NJR. And now Furia is going to have to slow down as the rest of DZ go to hold Dome. They don't want to give up this position.
On that trade. Nade, Herds, JV92, the player still standing in position, the E-box topper might, but what a read! Bolo gets one traded back on towards Herds, advantage still with DarkZero. You begin to feel, though, that Furia are 1 pick going their way to be able to unravel this round and get themselves qualified for our main stage. Repellent sandwich window is there. They got control of sight, and JV92 is just so good. Shuts it down, and now reads into this cross. But no, the cover won't be good enough. Canadian Bolo fire off, and well, overtime, that's not good enough. We need all 15 rounds. Of course you do. It's DarkZero playing. One more. Wow, it's going to be locked in, and that's going to be the smokes. Very important to try and catch that rotation, but you're likely going to expect the glass behind it. You don't want to peek into it. So Furia right now playing a very patient game. JV92 will find that opening one as KZ finds one of his own. Nafe gets that lifeline as Herbs is slain away. No! Bolo, are you kidding me? The nade claims his own life, and it's going to be a difficult one now for DarkZero. NJR gets one with that glass on towards nade. It's not over yet, but a must-win fight by Blue, but shut down just like that from Furia. They move and qualify themselves to that main stage, but DarkZero